crazy, am I? We'll see whether I'm crazy or not.
Hey everybody, and happy Halloween. This is ArKay from the Toy Tomb, and Willie has asked me to do a video on this Frankenstein model, which is from Revell. I pronounce it Revell. People have pronounced it different ways, but I go with Revell, always have. Originally put out by Aurora years ago. In fact, this reissue I bought like 20 years ago. I have no idea what they're going for now. I'm pretty sure that you can find them online. I did see one for $69, but I don't know. I be careful out there with your prices. Now, unlike the previous Aurora monster models, this one is from a series that they did called Monsters of the Movies. It's right there on the box. And they're in a pose, and it's, according to the box, it's 1/12 scale. So it's a little smaller than the original monsters, but it is easy to build assembly, like it says in the box, and a movable head and arms. It also has a movie clapboard nameplate. We'll get into that later. But there's the box, and what's interesting about the box is the cardboard is not great. It is sort of not holding up pretty well. On the sides of the box, they have a photograph of it assembled. I'm sorry, I'll stay to the camera. They have it assembled, and they have the arms in that pose with the head kind of looking over his right shoulder. I don't know which Frankenstein monster is that supposed to be. If this is Monsters of the Movies, I don't know what movie this is, because it definitely isn't Karloff. The original Aurora model looked more like Karloff. I don't really think it's Lon Chaney, and it's not Bela Lugosi. So I don't know what reference they used to sculpt this. But anyway, it comes with a really decent base. Again, we'll get into it later. So there's one pose that's on the side of the box. On the other side of the box, they have it posed differently. The head is looking straight ahead, and the arm with the log, or the piece of wood there, is lower. We can get a look at the nameplate, Shelley, from Mary Shelley, who wrote the original book. Pretty interesting sculpt, pretty interesting model. I do like it, even though I don't really like that face, and I certainly don't like that mouth. But that's okay. That's okay. To me, it's still Frankenstein. I'm also trying to recall when he used weapons. He used a log. He used a big stick. I don't really remember that. What's interesting about this box is that on the back there's a scene, which I guess all of these monsters of the model had. And the idea is that you can use this painting on the back of the box as part of your diorama setup, which is pretty neat. I may actually just keep the box intact, stick it on the shelf, and put the model in front of it. We'll take a look at that once the model is done. Speaking of the model is still inside the box. So I'm going to take that out now. We'll check it out. This is what was in the box. The sealed bag with the model itself in there. And there's a manual, and it's an 8.5 by 11 size manual. So it's really simple to put this together. On the box it did say ages 10 and up, and very, very simple instructions. A very easy model to put together. And then on the back we have photos of the model in the two different poses. These are actually the same photos that were on the sides of the box. Here are all 18 parts laid out. Really, only 18 parts. This is very simple. This fell off the sprue, but there's the front and back. I would probably glue these two together, paint them. Here's the base. And you can see there's 3 holes there for mushrooms. Mushrooms came with this. Turn it around. The grass is all sculpted in there. Here's the gravestone with the 3 mushrooms, the clacker. You take from the instruction manual, you cut out the name of the movie, you paste it on there, I guess, you glue it on. Here are the arm pieces. Again, I would glue the 2 halves together, paint them, glue these 2 halves together. Here are the legs with the feet. You don't even glue the feet to the legs, they're part of it. Some flashing there, has to be cut off. And here is the sprue with the head. Where are you? There you are. So there he is, the hand holding the log. Nice sculpting, you can see the clamps holding them together. So there's going to be some nice painting on this, you know, that'll make or break this model, the painting. And on the back of his head. And here's everything primed. The parts that could be put together in halves have been put together. It looks like something out of, God, it looks like something out of Vlad the Impaler's backyard, doesn't it? And so I put together, and I left them on the sprues where I could. I put the 2 halves of each arm together, and you know, the 2 halves of the legs and the torso. This way, especially if I leave them on the trees like this, if I leave them on the tree or the sprues, whatever, I have something to hold while I'm painting. And the finished model looks something like this. Here it is all put together and painted. I think it came out pretty good because it was a very easy model to put together. It was sculpted beautifully. I still have an issue with the face. Not really sure who that's supposed to be, but you know, it's close enough. It is the actual universal makeup, so I love that. I love the little details in it. The bolts on his neck are there. The clamp on his wrist is there. The scars are in the right place. The mushrooms down there. The Shelley on the gravestone, the cracks. The skull in the base. That's all sculpted in. Very easy to paint. It was very fun to paint and a lot of fun to put together. So I highly recommend this model. If you've seen this model, if you've built this model, if you want to make any comments, make them below. And now, here's Willie.
Scientists who play God soon learn the folly of their ways, as Dr. Victor Frankenstein discovers upon giving life to his twisted creation. Fascinated with the theory of reanimating dead tissue and using the body of a dead murderer, the good doctor scours the graveyard for the parts he needs, much to the dismay of the local villagers. After sewing the creature together, the scientists use electricity to breathe life into his man-made man, and Frankenstein's monster is born. To the horror of his creator, the monster escapes, roaming the local villages and terrorizing the people. The monster, anguished over his predicament, proceeds to seek revenge upon his father, and the rest is horror history.